for thousands of years. They've been sealed away, trapped behind a strong wall by the command of Allah. But their time is almost here.
We will rest and finish digging tomorrow, inshallah.
And when they break free, the world will witness a terror unlike anything before. After the Great War, Prophet Isa, peace be upon him, killed Dajjal near Babylud. Imam Mahdi had passed away, and the world became peaceful. Prophet Isa ruled with justice, and people returned to worshipping Allah. The land flourished, and life was calm, but this peace would not last forever. Something dangerous was still waiting. Behind a great wall, something was preparing to rise. Many years ago, long before Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, there was a great and wise king named Dhul Qarnayn. He was not a prophet, but Allah gave him strength and wisdom. He traveled far and wide, to the east and the west, bringing justice wherever he went. One day he came to a place between two mountains. The people there were scared. They told him, "O Dhul Qarnayn, Yajuj and Majuj are causing destruction in our land. They ruin everything. Please help us by building a barrier to protect us." Dhul Qarnayn agreed and asked for their help. He said, "Bring me blocks of iron." Dhul Qarnayn carefully placed huge blocks of iron between the two towering mountains. The blocks were so heavy and strong that no one could move them. Then, to make the barrier even stronger, he melted copper until it flowed like fire. He poured this molten copper over the iron blocks, sealing every crack and gap. The heat from the copper made the wall shine like a giant, glowing shield impossible to break or climb. Behind this mighty wall, Yajuj and Majuj were trapped, their fierce hands pounding on the barrier in frustration. No matter how hard they tried, they could not climb over it. No matter how much they dug or hit it, the wall did not crack. It stood firm, holding back the chaos and destruction they would bring when the time comes, and Allah's promise is ready to be fulfilled. Everything will change. Yajuj and Majuj will dig and dig without stopping. This time, they won't take a break. They will say to each other,
"We will rest and finish digging tomorrow, inshallah."
Because they say, "Inshallah," Allah will keep the hole open. When they come back the next day, the hole will still be there, waiting for them. Without hesitation, they will break through the wall. And once they are free, the world will never be the same again. As soon as Yajuj and Majuj broke through the wall, chaos spread across the earth like wildfire. The wall that once held them back for centuries had finally fallen, and now a massive swarm of wild, powerful beings flooded into the world like an unstoppable tide. They came in such great numbers that the earth seemed to shake beneath their feet. Wherever they went, they brought ruin. Cities collapsed, villages were wiped out, fields were trampled, forests were burned. Animals were slaughtered, and innocent people were killed without mercy. There was no escape. No corner of the world was safe. They didn't just destroy people, they destroyed nature itself. Every green place turned to dust. Every tree was torn down. Every crop was eaten or destroyed. Then they moved toward the water. They reached the great lake Tiberias, also known as the Sea of Galilee, and drank its water completely dry. Millions of them drank together until the last drop was gone. The final one who arrived at the lake looked around and said, "Was there ever water here?" It was a sign of how vast their numbers were, and how deep their destruction ran. Seeing the world falling apart, Prophet Isa, peace be upon him, gathered the believers and led them to safety on a high mountain, Mount Toor. There they found shelter and began praying to Allah, asking for protection from the storm raging below. But Yajuj and Majuj were not finished. Their pride grew. Their arrogance became unbearable. They looked up toward the sky and began shooting arrows upward. believing they could reach and kill the people of the heaven. Allah allowed their arrows to return with blood on them as a test. Seeing the blood, they believed they had defeated even the heavenly realm. Their pride reached its peak, but this false victory was the sign of their approaching end. The earth was filled with nothing but death and destruction. The skies were dark, the lands empty, and fear ruled every corner. The believers, led by Prophet Isa, peace be upon him, were trapped high on Mount Toor. They had no food, no water, and nowhere to go. They could only raise their hands in dua and beg Allah for help. And then Allah responded, but not with a sword, not with thunder, not with fire or armies. Instead, Allah sent a special punishment. Tiny creatures, smaller than the eye could see, worms or insects. While Yajuj and Majuj were asleep, these creatures entered their necks. In one single night, they all died. Not one of them was left alive. The same beings that once shook the earth with fear were now silent, lifeless. The earth was now filled with their rotting bodies, millions of corpses lying across every field, mountain, and valley. The stench was so strong, so unbearable, that no one could come down from the mountain. Once again, Prophet Isa, peace be upon him, turned to Allah and made dua. Then, by Allah's command, came a miraculous sight. Giant birds appeared, with necks like camels, sent from the heavens. These birds picked up the rotting corpses one by one, flying far away, to places only Allah knows. Still, the earth was filthy from the blood, destruction, and disease. So Allah sent heavy rain, strong, purifying rain that fell for many days. It washed the mountains, it cleaned the rivers, it purified the air, and slowly the land began to breathe again. Life returned to the earth. Peace returned, but only for a while. This is not just a story, it is a warning, a sign that the end is near, and the time to return to Allah is now. Before the earth shakes again, before they escape the wall, prepare your heart, strengthen your faith. Like, share, and subscribe to Noor Narratives. Spread the truth before it's too late.